welcome to round 3 here at Winton for the YMF Motor Finance Australian Superbike Championship powered by Motul Pirelli. I'm Emma Francesco, joined by Steve Martin. And Steve, I tell you what, Phillip Island, Wakefield Park so far have been absolutely outstanding. I can't believe we're at our 3rd stop already.
I know, it's unbelievable, isn't it? We started off at the wonderful Phillip Island, majestic GP circuit down there with beautiful weather. Round 2, we headed to Wakefield Park. We were poured with rain and everybody got wet. We had some great results there though, but now we're at Winton.
And I tell you what, the championship is heating up already. We've got Daniel Falzon, Troy Herfoss, Robbie Bugden in that top 3, all looking very strong and consistent.
There's a few people snapping at their heels though. Wayne Maxwell sits in 4th in the championship, and we've also got Josh Hook, who's joined us on a new Panigale this time around as well, so you might see some new names up the front. Absolutely.
Speaking of Wayne Maxwell, I believe you caught up with him a little bit earlier. Let's take an in-depth look at this track here, Winton Raceway.
Hi, I'm Wayne Maxwell, number 47 in the Australian Superbike Championship. We're here at Winton Raceway, one of my favourite circuits on the calendar. It's super technical, and we're going to show you 3 points that make a fast lap around Winton. We're here at turns 1 and 2 at Winton Raceway. It's important to get this part of the lap right. It's the first of the 2 turns that link together. As we come through turn 1, we enter turn 2 here. It's important to apex this nice and tight, and as we head up the hill, you see the wall there in the distance. You're getting closer and closer, and yeah, just fly past the wall in 3rd gear at around about 150 kilometres an hour. Turn 5 here is super important. It's the fastest corner on the racetrack. We enter turn 5 on the rev limiter at around about 190 kilometres an hour. We get massive front left tyre abrasion here, so it's super important to, get the entry perfect, because by the end of the race, lap 15 or 16, there is a lot of front tyre movement. You've put together a perfect 10 corners. As we enter the final sector here, turn 11, the hardest braking point on the track. It's so easy to overcook it, it's super bumpy on the entry, and it is the final passing opportunity, and it could be crucial on the last lap tomorrow.
Well, riders are on the track and making their way round to take up their positions on the grid for the first of our Superbike races for today for the YMF Motor Finance Australian Superbike Championships. Round 3, looking to be great weather conditions here at Winton Motor Raceway. And we saw yesterday Wayne Maxwell, the fastest man on track with that scintillating pole position. Steve Martin, the pace this weekend, unbelievable. New best ever circuit lap here for Wayne Maxwell this weekend.
Yeah, 1 minute 20.290. That's the fastest anybody's ever been on 2 wheels around this circuit. There's definitely more competition that we've had last year, more fast guys out there, and there's going to be some pretty desperate racing ahead. Let's throw down to M on the grid.
Thanks, guys. Wayne Maxwell up the front. You absolutely smashed the timesheets in practice. And now pole position. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. The session was good for us yesterday afternoon, and starting from pole here at Winton's crucial to get great track position on the opening laps. And we're just going to try to get away good. We've got reasonable race pace, and yeah, we're going to try to make the most of it over the 16 laps.
When I've seen you across the weekend, you've been very cool, calm and collected. It must have been those shakes. Is that a superstition thing?
Nah, it's just something I have to do just to make sure I can recover. It's so physical here, and yeah, got to absolutely be at your peak, level, and yeah, to beat these guys that are going to be coming from there, because they're going to want to give it all and run me down.
Good luck. Over to you, Luke.
Thanks, Sam. Someone else that's looking quite calm is the championship leader. Qualified in 4th. How are you feeling, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm feeling really confident in this race. I know we've got a good race pace and we've had it all weekend. Ideally, I'd like to be on the front row. I think we deserve to be there. We've been top of the timesheets a lot of times during testing and practice yesterday. Had a little mishap in qualifying yesterday, but it all comes down to the 16-lap race, and we've got the pace to be at the front.
Absolutely, and obviously the start is going to be very important for you today.
Yeah, that's right. It's difficult here at Winton because turn 1's a bit of a bottleneck. There's only really one line, so I think if we get through the start, the first lap and first few corners especially, then it should be a pretty smooth race.
Thanks, Daniel. Good luck. Back to you, Em.
Thanks, Luke. Josh Waters, a much better start for you this weekend. Great to see you got that balance right.
Yeah, it's really good. Round 1 we started, we're on row 3, round 2, row 2, and now 3rd round, row 1. So it's going to be really tough, but I'll try my hardest. About halfway through the race, it's going to be very, very tough with these tyres.
I was going to say, a lot of people talking about tyre degradation. How are yours faring?
I'm in the same boat. They're all telling fairy tales if they know what they say they know what it's going to be like, because no one's done a long run, so or long enough run. So yeah, hopefully it's all right. But yeah, after this race, I'm sure like everyone, will make changes.
Good luck, Josh Waters. We are getting ready for Superbikes race number 1. It's up to the boys in the booth, Phil Harlem and Steve Martin.
Thanks very much, Emma. Yeah, it is going to be a big question, isn't it? The other rider we probably need to keep our eye on too is Robbie Bugden's teammate. He starts right behind him on the grid. But let's go through the grid. It is Wayne Maxwell, Herfoss and Josh Waters that start from the first row of the grid. Falzon, Halliday and Starring back there on the second row. Al Phillips, Josh Hook and Robbie Bugden on row 3. Then Troy Gunther that you just mentioned about on that next gen motorsport BMW. He's starting back there on the 4th row in position number 10.
Yeah, this is the last moment of breath. The red flag is out at the moment, Phil. These guys just need to take stock.
Well, the revs will start to rise. The heart rates are already bouncing off the rev limiter as the red flag leaves the front of the grid. Red lights are on, they're out and we're away. Great start from Crew Halliday, who's got a really good jump off the second row of the grid. In fact, he's gone past Josh Waters as they make their way down in towards turn 1 for the first time. It is the number 1 plate of Troy Herfoss that leads them through turn 1. Hopefully everyone gets through spokes.com.au corners cleanly, and we're away with a good clean start. Herfoss leading from Maxwell, Halliday, Waters, Falzon, and then it's Brian Starring also getting off the line well on board his Crank Protein Honda. Red flag. Oh no, we've got a couple of riders down at the entry to the corner.
Looks like at least one Kawasaki there.
Yeah, Matty Walters is one of those riders.
And that's an R1 that's gone down too. That looks like Senior, Adam Senior perhaps, just the colour of that R1 there.
Well, let's see if we can get a replay, because it wasn't certainly in our vision there.
We thought they were through.
Yeah, but there was a big gap. I thought there was a big gap between one group of riders and the next group as they came through. Here we go with a replay of coming down into the first corner. Yeah, that was right up the inside, just lost it. Tagged that right. I think that was Mitch Levy that got tagged and went down.
Oh, okay, Mitch Levy, yeah.
That was his bike that ended up way over on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's
Matt Walters also involved in that. There's Matt Walters there on the left-hand side of that screen. Is that Jack Baker on board bike number 99 as well? That's also been involved in
there's
that.
Definitely a few of the boys down there. So that's 1, 2, 3 at least.
But while we get ready for a restart in this first of our YMI Superbike races for today, we'll have a short break and be back here at Winton for the race start for race number 1. Welcome back to Winton Motor Raceway in Northern Victoria for the 3rd round of the 2017 Yamaha Motor Finance Australian Superbike Championship. This weekend brought to us by spokes.com.au. We've had a red flag stoppage in Superbike race number 1. We're getting ready for a restart. Let's get an update from down on the grid.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I'm down here with bike number 12, Matt Walters. He was involved in that incident. Now, good news. You can see there he's working on the bike. He is okay. He got taken out on the inside, just a few tweaks. The tyre warmers have come off. Hopefully he gets out there in time.
So the grid is reloaded. We've got Maxwell on pole position from Herfoss and Waters on the front row of the grid. Falzon, Halliday, Starring on the second row. Al Phillips, Josh Hook and Robbie Bugden on that 3rd row of the grid. And there we go, a restart for the race. The riders are away. Oh, a bit of a barging there between Falzon and Starring as they made their way down into the corner, spokes.com.au corner. It looks like everyone is through this time, Steve, and we're away with the race, with Herfoss leading Maxwell, a repeat of the first start.
Good from Starring too. Starring's up there at the moment in 3rd position with Daniel Falzon just behind him. So Falzon with a good start, and Crew Halliday not quite as good as the first time through, but he'll be happy with 5th position at the moment. Josh Waters in 6th, went from the front of the grid to the 2nd row, so he's lost spots off the start. So Waters losed out. Robbie Bugden's come up through though in 7th position, and Alex Phillips just behind him. We said look out for Josh Hook, and guess who's in 8th position at the moment?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's board on the Ducati, the Races Edge Performance, Craig McMartin Ducati for the first time this weekend. He's got Kyle Buckley, one of our leading rookies, right behind him as well. Has Josh Hook as the field streams their way down the YMI straight and into HI-TEC Batteries corner. Herfoss aggressive early, back end of the Honda, starting to slide out as he made his way down into that late braking area. And the real battle at the front, though, is between the Pirelli runners at the moment with Herfoss, Maxwell, Starring, Falzon, Halliday in 5th position, the first of our Dunlop shod bikes.
Wow, look at that great move by Falzon, just straight through on Brian Starring, up the inside there. There was no room, but the young South Australian made room, and he moves up into 3rd position at the moment. So a good move by Falzon. He's always strong at the start of the races. Normally he whole shots the races. He stopped doing that, but he started getting on the podium a hell of a lot more.
He also regards this as one of his favourite tracks and reckons it's a real rider's track as well, Steve, with lots of technical sections, and they're heading for one of those technical sections now as they make their way down through Pirelli Corner and then down through the long sweeper at Suzuki, which then starts this very tight, twisty and, well, most of the time, one-line area of the circuit. With Maxwell now closing right onto the back of Herfoss. Haven't we seen some great battles between these two at this circuit over the years?
Yeah, we certainly have, and I'm sure that Maxwell is about to engage in another battle because he will not be happy and he won't let Herfoss go. The other thing is that these guys are fast at different parts of the circuit. For sure, out of Pirelli Corner, Maxwell's definitely got the speed on the #1 machine up front. But out of there, look at the drive that Herfoss just got. And this is an important place to get the drive because it's a major overtaking point down here into the Yamaha Motorcycle Insurance Corner.
Yeah, the Honda is the oldest bike out there in the field. It doesn't have the top speed of the other bikes, but Winton is not really a top speed circuit, is it? It's more about driving off the corners and that great chassis on the Honda doing a good job at the moment. And you can see how well the Paul Free prepared Hondas just punch off the corners. And the new Honda is coming. The team hopefully may have it at the latter part of this year. But I think you can be guaranteed about one thing is they're not going to start racing the new bike until they can guarantee that it is faster than the old one.
Let's get down to M.
We're speaking about Honda. I am down here in the Honda garage with Sean. Obviously, a great start with Troy. But let's talk about the tyres. A lot of people talking about tyre degradation. This track is obviously a tough one for that. Are you conserving?
Yeah, we are conserving our tyre. We're just trying to control the pace out the front. The track is quite difficult with the surface. It's definitely a little bit different to when we raced here last year also, so it's changing how we need to go about using the tyre.
Thanks, Sean. Good luck.
But we've just seen two changes of position in very short order, not usually associated with places that you see a lot of overtaking, but Maxwell went into the lead, Herfoss took it back, and very close racing there, and Falzon has closed right in on the lead.
Well, that's because Sean said that Herfoss was in front, and when he said that he needed to get back in front, he did it in style, but he knows he's got company now because that group of 3 looks like it's going to be a group of 4 very soon.
Or even 5, because Crew Halliday is closing right in as well.
Yeah, Brian Starring now right on the back of that group, also with Halliday there as well. And remember, Halliday on the Dunlops, those Dunlops will be starting to come in about now, nice and warm.
And Halliday was the fastest man of that top group on the last lap at 21.4.
Yeah.
22s for Herfoss, Maxwell and Falzon at the front, but the rest of the guys from 4th position.
Yeah, and we've just got a new lap record from Herfoss as well, 21.229, so even quicker than he was before. These guys are absolutely ripping through the lap records.
So Herfoss leads from Maxwell and Falzon with Brian Starring and Crew Halliday, who is the one to watch at the moment in my books, on board the Dunlop shod Yamaha, the privateer machine. Crew Halliday, well, he's got a new sponsor this weekend, Power Bar. He might have been having a bit of a munch on a few of those before he went out there, I think, in this one, Steve. The pace that he's showing now, as we get to about half race distance, is I think it's going to be telling towards the end.
Yeah, he's certainly in the box seat. Let's get down to Luke.
Thanks, guys. Robbie, not the start Alex was looking for today.
No, he just got a jump start apparently, plus he ran off and he's in 17th now, which he went from about 5th or 6th or something like that. He ran off up there trying to get past another guy, and it's all over basically now. He just needs a couple of points, I suppose, if he can finish in the top 15.
If you could get into his ear right now, what would you want to tell him?
I don't know, mate. Like he knows, you know, like it's just. He's made a mistake. What can you do?
You can keep pushing, though.
We want to try and keep getting points, you know, so...
Thanks very much, Robbie. Back to you, boys.
Well, yeah, Mr. Superbike himself, Robbie Phillips, a man that certainly needs no introduction to Australian motorcycle racing fans, as this battle between Herfoss and Maxwell continues at the front. In fact, on the last lap, Steve, they look to have taken a little bit of time out of Falzon on board the Caterpillar Yamaha. So we've got factory Honda, factory Yamaha, privateer Yamaha, factory Honda, and another privateer Yamaha in this top 5 that have got a little bit of a lead now over the rest of the field. But Robbie Bugden on the last lap was actually into the 21s as well. In fact, he was 0.8 of a second faster than Crew Halliday. Crew Halliday was back into the 22s, but he got it all wrong coming down into this corner and lost a few tenths as he ran wide.
Yeah, of course, Bugden, another guy out there on the Dunlop tyres, so he also, like Halliday, will be expecting to become stronger in the last half of this race.
Well, I know the guys from Dunlop were going around assuring all the Dunlop runners, okay, the one lap pace might not be as good as the Pirellis, but wait until the race. We're not in a bad position, and that's how it's working out at the moment with the Dunlop guys starting to make their way forward. But it is still about these two. Herfoss, the reigning champion, on bike number 1. Maxwell on bike number 47. And Falzon is trying to go with them. On the last lap, they were all back into the 21s as well. Only 0.2 of a second between the fastest and slowest in that top 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible to see the pace that these guys are setting out there. I mean, every lap is pretty much under the old lap record at the moment. And look, once again, out of the Pirelli corner, Maxwell gets great drive, but you can't do anything with it there. It's very hard to pass around this Winton circuit. You might be able to dive up the inside here, but Herfoss is awake to that now. He's closing that line off. Maxwell tried it one lap before, and look at Herfoss, how defensive he's riding now. He knows that if he holds the inside line, there's not much he can do there. Wayne's almost next to him, but he can't get past, and then stand it upright and on the gas, and you can't pass down here. But that's a good drive by Maxwell. Keep an eye on him. This is an opportunity for him.
Yeah, Herfoss is good on the brakes, but Maxwell gets up the inside. And Brian Starring has also gone back to 6th position with Halliday and Robbie Bugden getting past. But you see the drive out of the corner there of the Honda. He was very good there, was Troy Herfoss, and he goes back into the lead.
No, he got the drive, though, because, I mean, Maxwell went in deep and he lost the drive out. And it's just so hard to pass around this circuit.
There's a replay of Wayne Maxwell's move, but as you said, Steve, he ran wide, and Herfoss, who had gone in a little bit more conservative, got that great drive out of the corner. Even though he was on the outside of the circuit, had the best track position.
Up the inside goes Maxwell again. Oh, that's so tight.
Well, Maxwell had to pull out of that manoeuvre, and you can see he was on a different line there going into the corner. Halliday's already past Falzon, and Robbie Bugden goes past as well. So Falzon is now back to 5th position.
The other thing I saw there, Phil, out of the TAC towards 0 corner, turns 1 and 2, was a big slide by the number 47, Wayne Maxwell. He's certainly starting to lose a little bit of rear drive this distance into the race.
Well, the real battle at the moment is between Herfoss and Maxwell, but we must keep our eye on the riders that are closing in from behind, Crew Halliday and Robbie Bugden. Well, Robbie Bugden, he is the stealth bomber of the championship so far, isn't he? He's been sneaking in underneath the radar. But I think he's well and truly, cover has been blown now as he sits in 4th position there, right on the back of Halliday's machine. So I've got Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Yamaha in that top 5.
Absolutely. Bugden 3rd in the championship at the moment. That's pretty impressive stuff for him. Crew Halliday won't be worrying about the championship at the moment. He just wants to get another race win here, something he did last year, and he's in 3rd position at the moment and catching up very quickly. Another slide from the number 47 on the edge of the tyre.
Well, Crew Halliday would love nothing more than to get past that factory Yamaha of Wayne Maxwell. He gets his head down as they come round to a complete lap 11. So we're starting lap 12 now of the 15-lap journey. This is definitely the stage where everyone was saying that the tyres will be well past their use-by date. They all look pretty good coming out of there. Bugden even starting to get a little bit of movement around from the back of the BC Performance Kawasaki, but Halliday is the one that looks very, very smooth at the moment.
Well, he knows how to win around here. He's done it maybe 3 or 4 months ago at the last round of the Australian Superbike Championship in 2016, and he was super fast at Wakefield Park too, but if you remember, he crashed there. I'm sure he's not going to make that mistake this time round. He hasn't had a podium this year that I can think of, and I reckon up the inside goes Maxwell. What a move. Can he hold it on the... Yes, he does. He pushes Herfoss wide, and he has to go around the outside of a back marker, but Maxwell is through now. Good move by him.
Yeah, Hamish McMurray did a good job there to get out of the way once he saw Maxwell go past, and the leading quartet of riders make their way through. Well, Maxwell has been the real benefactor of that, hasn't he? He's pulled out a nice little gap there over Herfoss and Halliday and Bugden.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 bike lengths there at the moment, and he needs that because Halliday and Bugden are coming. And Herfoss, we know one thing, he never gives up. Let's get down to Luke with an update.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Glenn Allerton. Glenn, Wayne just got past Troy.
Yeah, it's an exciting race. He's had a hard time to get there, but as it come past now, he's in the lead. Really going for the Yamahas at the moment. Looks like Crew's trying to attack Troy, so starting to see a bit of a tyre battle come on too with the guys on the Dunlops coming from behind, and it's pretty interesting to watch. But man, I miss being out there. I just wish I was out there. So yeah, can't wait to get back on the bike.
Thanks, mate. Steve, Phil, back to you.
Thanks, Luke. And yes, this battle is certainly really heating up. And Halliday, oh, look at him up the inside. Corner entry speed into the Suzuki corner was a little bit too much, and he's run wide. Herfoss has come back on the inside as well. Well, Troy Herfoss has proven he doesn't need a second invitation. And Crew Halliday has also made his thoughts quite clear on what he's trying to do and get past Troy Herfoss, who once again takes a defensive line. Halliday has a quick look over the shoulder to see the big number 24 of Robbie Bugden sitting right on his ducktail.
Here's a replay. Crew Halliday up the inside into Suzuki corner there, and he makes the move but runs wide, which allows the number 1 machine of Herfoss to nip back up the inside and get that second place back.
Well, the amount of overtaking by this lead group in this race has been absolutely fantastic. And Herfoss, every time he's been overtaken, he's done the old Valentino Rossi. He has to straight back and get back into position. And here comes Robbie Bugden going up the inside of, was that Herfoss? And he's now up into second position, Robbie Bugden, and he's pinning the years back. Well,
Robbie Bugden's done the both of them.
He's used the power of that Kawasaki. Look at the front end patter of Robbie Bugden's machine as he comes down into the Motul corner there. It was pattering all over the place. There goes Halliday up the inside of Herfoss.
Yeah, Herfoss is definitely struggling now. Looks like he's struggling definitely for grip out there at the moment. He's doing the best job he can. He's just got to try and bring it home now. The thing with this tyre war, Phil, is just because one tyre works at one track, it certainly doesn't mean it's going to work at the next track. Let's get down with Luke. He's with Callum Spriggs.
I've got Callum Spriggs with me. Mate, not the start to race one you wanted.
No, not really. I got off to a decent start there, and I was with the rookies and a few out of the good contenders, and yeah, I slowly dropped back there, and then I could, each lap by lap, I could hear the exhaust getting bigger. There was a bit of a split in the exhaust, and I could hear it getting bigger and bigger, and then yeah, just trying to manage it, and then yeah, I just come in because I don't want to do too much more damage to the bike. So yeah, see what we can do in the next one, and yeah, have a good one.
Thanks, Callum. Best of luck, mate. Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Luke. Yeah, great to hear from Callum Spriggs. Has been looking more comfortable on the bike this weekend than I've seen him so far in his first year of Superbike racing, doing a great job. But also doing a great job is our race leader, Wayne Maxwell. He has a lead of 1 second over Robbie Bugden, who was 1/10 of a second faster on the last lap. As they come round on this last lap now, there is only one circuit of the Winton Motor Raceway to go. Crew Halliday is looking also very determined to try and find his way past Robbie Bugden and make it a Yamaha 1-2 at the front of this race.
Yeah, I mean, this is it now for Crew Halliday. Winner here last time out. He really won't like to see Robbie Bugden in front of him, so we can be assured that he's going to have a bit of a battle with the man in front of him. But Maxwell out front, that gap of 1 second is down to 0.7. So we also know that Bugden, who hasn't had a victory here yet, he wants one.
He certainly does. And of course, top 3 in the Australian Superbike Championship, no stranger for Robbie Bugden. He's been there before. He knows exactly what is required, and he's putting on a great last lap here. He's actually managed to get away a little bit from Crew Halliday, I think, as they come down the YMI straight and into HI-TEC Batteries corner. But Halliday closes up again on the brakes.
Yeah, look, I think that Wayne has got this in hand. I think he's okay. He's got just enough of a gap now. Look at that gap. It's probably now Crew Halliday, though, is closed right up. This is Crew's chance. If he can nip up the inside here, he's not going to do it.
Looks like Maxwell will take the win. Bugden will get second. Halliday's in the slipstream, but I don't know if it's enough. No, it isn't. And Maxwell takes the win from Robbie Bugden and Crew Halliday. 0.6 of a second covers them as they came across the line. So they took nearly 4/10 of a second out of Wayne Maxwell on that last lap. And Maxwell scores his first victory for a considerable amount of time. Michael Blair came through and managed to finish inside the top 10. But here's a recap of your full results. Maxwell taking the win from Robbie Bugden and Crew Halliday. Herfoss, Falzon and Josh Hook up there as well. The great ride from Josh Hook. He's first on board the Ducati to take 6th position. Josh Waters, Brian Starring, Michael Blair and Corey Turner rounds out the top 10. A great result there for the Yamaha Privateer. Well, let's go down and hear from our top 3. Some interesting stories surely coming from race number 1.
Yeah, look, we might have to make a modification because the other guys were coming a bit, so we just need a bit longevity or try to get clean air early. I had pace, I was trying to pass Troy, but he's such a wily character, and his bike jumps off the turns really good, but I can carry it through the middle corner, so need some clear air and we can push on.
This BC Performance Kawasaki ZX 10 Ninjas, you know, it's shown it's good on all sorts of circuits. You know, we did struggle a little bit all weekend, but certainly with that one lap pace. But all weekend we were quietly comfortable that we had a good race pace, and you know, we just showed that just now. And you know, I think maybe if we had another 1 or 2 laps, I might have been able to give something to Wayne. But you know, I'll take second place, and it's another bunch of points towards our championship. And yeah, we'll keep going and see what we can do this over.
I'm actually disappointed with that. Even though I first podium of the year, I felt like I could have won that race. But you know, looked at everyone's tyres when we come in. We're pretty good. Robbie looks good. These Dunlop tyres they've always worked good at Winton Raceway, and you know, can't say the guys enough. Thanks, guys, on the team. I don't think I've had the forks out my entire career in one weekend. You know, and we've stressed Friday and Saturday, but you know, we come here race day and Sunday and we put it all together.
Great first Superbike race for the Yamaha Motor Finance Australian Superbike Championship in the YMI Superbike class at this round presented by Spokes. Let's go to a break and come back with the Supersport up next. Welcome back to Winton Motor Raceway in Victoria as we continue the action from round 3 of the 2017 Yamaha Motor Finance Australian Superbike Championship, and race 1 for the Supersport class is next up on the agenda. And the Supersport class this year has been absolutely sensational in the racing. Ted Collins led the championship by 1 point coming in. He doubled that by scoring his first ever pole position here at Winton. So Ted Collins, Marchiotto and Sam Lambert will start from that front row of the grid. Second row is Chris Quinn, Mason Coote and Sam Muldoon. The third row, Nick Leamington, the South Australian, been having a great year, along with Sam Condon, 2 young guys in the class. And Tom Taparis, make that 3 young guys on row 3. Of course, Tom Taparis was the round winner at the last round, scored his first ever pole position at the last round. So it seems to be a season of first. Mason Coote as well. Red flag leaves the front of the grid. The revs rise. And we're away in the first of our Motul Supersport class races for today as the field charges down towards the Spokes S's to get this first race underway. Look like Ted Collins got a really good start from the front of the grid, and Sam Lambert has moved from 3rd on the grid up into 2nd place. Marcus Gaudo hasn't got the trike off the line as well as he would have liked. He was sitting in 4th.
We've had someone off at the back of the pack there too. They've rejoined but lost a lot of ground.
Red flag. There's actually 4 bikes or 3 bikes down at the entry to the Spokes S's. Looks like bike number 131 was one of those machines, and also 61. I think 61 is Reece Belling on board his machine. 131 is John Quinn.
Yeah. Okay, that's unfortunate. Looks like both of the guys are up. They'll be able to pick those bikes up. Good to see Race Safe on the scene straight away, checking the riders out. And it looks like both of those guys, all of those guys, will live to fight another day. Let's have a look. Someone's gone in really hard up the back there. Oh, taking the handlebar out.
Yeah, I think that might have been the Kawasaki rider, 131 Quinn, that...
he's gone in just a little bit too deep.
The red flag goes up at the front of the grid and now leaves. And looked like a little bit better start for Marchiotto, but Sam Lambert has once again got another cracking start from the 3rd position on the grid, and he will actually go up the inside of Ted Collins and take the lead. Now he's gone off the circuit. He went in a little bit too hot, and Marchiotto has come out in the lead. Sam Lambert's done a bit of grass tracking there. I think he's actually got back onto the circuit.
He did. He held that together. He was so lucky. There he is towards the last third of the pack there, so he lost a lot of ground there. He's got too much work to make up this time round.
Yeah, he's going to have to charge his way pretty much through the entire 26-bike Supersport field. In fact, he's about 5th from the tail at the moment as they make their way through. The Suzuki sweeper is going around the outside, but we've got Marchiotto on board the Repsol Triumph, bike number 12, leading from Ted Collins on bike number 5 on the Next Gen Motorsports Suzuki. I think that's Sam Muldoon on board the Muldoon Motorcycles Kawasaki up into 3rd position on board bike number 70. Then Mason Coote, who is now 2 points behind championship leader Ted Collins in the overall 2017 Motul Supersport Championship.
Yeah, it's good to see too, Mason Coote. Although he relinquished his championship lead last time out, he certainly hasn't given up. He's in there fighting as hard as he can. And look, under brakes there into Yamaha Motorcycle Insurance corner. Ted Collins closes up.
Look at the riding style of Marchiotto. He's almost looks like he's not even on the motorcycle if you see from the outside. There's one rider that's gone down. That looks like it's at HI-TEC Batteries corner, in fact, Steve.
Ted Collins up the inside. He's through. What a great move by Ted Collins.
Geez, that like 20, 30 metres out of the corner. I didn't think he was going to get it done, but he just managed to sneak his way through at the last minute. Can Marchiato go with him now? Because Ted Collins looks to me like he was being quite conservative on that first lap. He was actually the fastest rider on the second lap, the first of our flying laps, Steve, with a 24.3. As an indication, Sam Muldoon, who's running third place in this race, was at 25.5.
Yeah, I mean, the two guys up front at the moment are absolutely on a mission. There goes Muldoon, Mason Coote. Mason Coote has still got, if you look at his front tyre, he's still got the sticker on the front tyre. I don't know how that's affecting him.
Well, he's also done the two siding laps and warm-up lap for the first race, and then another one for this one.
It should be worn off by now. I don't know what the story is with that.
Nick Limington right behind in that group as well on board the Fluoro machine, the Race Centre machine. You can see Nick Limington there, and right on the back of him is Tom Taparis, the round victor from Wakefield Park. Another guy that's a young man in a hurry.
There's Damon Reese. Did you see how much he caught up under brakes? That was a great move by him. He's quite a big lad, is Reese, but he's certainly good on the brakes.
Yeah, the Honda probably doesn't have the top speed of some of the other bikes, but he's obviously got a lot of confidence in the front end and the braking capabilities of that bike as he went up the inside of Mason Coote.
And then round the outside.
Coote came back strongly on the inside, didn't he? In between Yamaha Motor Insurance corner and Yamaha corner.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Coote hasn't got some sort of front tyre issue there with with that sticker still being there. It just doesn't make sense. So
he's also got a bit of a shoulder injury coming into this round as well. And Collins is, well, he'll be applying for his own postcode. He's going that fast at the moment. Well, he's a long way ahead of the rest of the field.
Well, I think they're going to have to rename this the Ted Collins circuit because that is a new lap record, my friend. 22.8 eclipses the old lap record of Crew Halliday, set way back in the day to 24.
Well, Lambert now is all over the back of Mason Coote. This is a great recovery from Sam Lambert as he dives up the inside. He's been doing those lap times through traffic, Steve. It is so much harder to try and do a lap time like that when you've got this amount of traffic to deal with. Ted Collins is out the front. He's got no one else to worry about. Lambert is having to virtually overtake pretty much the entire field.
Lambert's still in a chance for getting a podium. He's got to try and chase down Sam Muldoon now. Marcus Chiodo probably out of reach, but I reckon that if he keeps riding like this, he can get to the front of that group, catch Muldoon, and perhaps get a podium. And I'll tell you what, when you start as far up the grid as he did, to run off and have to come back through from there, he's riding with a lot of aggression at the moment. You can see that on the way in there. He's really on the brakes. Once again, Mason Coote running wide. Yeah,
he ran very wide there, and Tom Taparis was straight up the inside of him as they came through Yamaha Motor Finance corner. The last complex of corners that finished off the lap here at Winton. So we're halfway through the race, and this battle is the one that we're really concentrating on at the moment. Damon Reese, Nick Limington and Sam Lambert are battling it out as Limington dives up the inside. Oh, that's a big move from the South Australian. And I'll tell you what, the Race Centre guys have been working extremely hard on the preparation and their suspension set up on that motorcycle, and Nick Limington looked to have a lot of confidence there.
You know what, I think Nick Limington's coming of age. He's had a pretty tough round the outside. Nearly. What a great move, but he just didn't quite get there.
I think Reese saw him coming and may have just ran a little bit wider, and Sam Lambert had to pull out of that manoeuvre.
Of course, you were talking about the sound of the different machines and the triples and that. I think a few years ago, Sam Lambert was on a triple, wasn't he? Rode a Triumph very well indeed.
He did, and actually last year was racing in the BSB on board an MV Augusta in the Supersport class too. So he's had plenty of different motorcycles, and as you mentioned before, Steve, he raced at the first round on a BMW in the Superbike class. But the Supersport class is his main focus now. I know he was extremely fast here at the recent test day that was on. We actually interviewed him on Ride Rage Radio that afternoon as he'd finished that test.
Lambert right on the back now of Limington, but he's quite big, isn't he? Limington's, although he's tall, he's probably a little bit more slipstream, but he's looking up the inside, he's going for the dive. Oh, he's through.
Now, this charge through the field from Sam Lambert, we've spoken about tyres. He's had to ride extremely aggressively, Steve, and that can also take the toll on your tyres as well. If you're not smooth, you can wear your tyres out a hell of a lot quicker.
Yeah, you can, but then, you know, it just depends on how you can manage that. I mean, a lot of guys can't manage worn tyres. You know, the tyres grip and the bike feels solid. Then when they wear, the bike starts to move around, which makes a lot of people back off.
So the laps are winding down.
Look at that. Did you see the chatter there from the Kawasaki man?
Well, I think he was extremely deep and late on the brakes because he knows that Sam Lambert has actually set up camp on the ducktail of the Muldoon Motorcycle ZX6 and he's also bringing along Nick Limington on board bike number 27. Now, Nick Limington doesn't mind getting the elbows out and having a good battle, so Sam Muldoon may have his work cut out here for the last couple of laps of this race.
I've followed the career of Nick Limington for a long time, and one thing I do know is that the last 2 or 3 laps of a race is when he's at his strongest. So, you know, do not count him out, and he will be there to pick up the pieces if something happens to these guys in the next few days.
Well, Lambert out of the seat, getting a very aggressive there on the throttle, and was having to try and, well, stay with Sam Muldoon. You can see him get the bike sideways. I'd say his tyres are really starting to go off now as we're on lap 10 of 12. There he goes up the inside. Takes up the running now in 3rd position. Sam Lambert on board bike number 21. The Addicted to Track California Superbike School Yamaha YRD. Probably a great time too, Steve, to talk about the excellent support that Yamaha YRD give all of their privateer riders, and Sam Lambert using that support at the moment and doing a great job.
Absolutely, and it's definitely a very good tool as well. We've got a lot of R6s in this class. Yamaha come here in a big, big way, and they bring lots of spare parts and do special prices on bits and pieces to help keep all these R6 running and being very, very competitive. And look at this, Limington, not out of this. He wants it. He wants a podium.
He also seems to take that very tight line into the Yamaha Motor Finance corner as well.
He does. He's just trying to line things up. He can't, you know, there's no point following those guys. He's got to try something different. He's got to find a way through. Where's he quicker? That's what he's thinking now, and he knows that he's running out of laps. If he's going to strike, he's not going to have many chances left. He seems to be a bit slower there, but look under brakes. He's very quick at the end of that one there.
Yeah, the bike's starting to wave the tail around a little bit as well. He was that late on the brakes. Yeah. And neither of these guys have all given up that hope of getting up there and
there he goes,
on the podium.
Nick's up the inside. He's gone past Muldoon. Does he run wide on the exit? He holds it.
No, that's a great ride there from Nick Limington to sneak up the inside there and then hold the bike on track. And he's now got his eyes set on Sam Lambert right ahead. This is the start of the last lap now. Only 1 lap of the Winton venue to go for the first of our Motul 600 Supersport races. And Muldoon has got a bit of work to do. Limington out of the seat.
He's given it everything he's got. Those Pirellis are working hard.
And Marchiotto is just in front of them. He's not far ahead of this battle, so this could turn into a battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Yeah, Kyoto's obviously backed it off. I wonder if he knows he's only got a second to lose now. He's going to come back to this if he keeps that pace up. He needs to open the tap.
Well, just wondering how the tyres are going for all of these guys because we've seen Limington out of the seat.
Kyoto's got big problems.
Well, also Lambert was extremely wide there into the YMF corner as well. I don't know if he was struggling to get the bike turned in, but Lambert can also see Kyoto in front of him. The Triumph needs to get good drive out of the sharp corner and down into the HI-TEC Batteries because there's only a couple more corners to go. And Marchiotto is really going to have to work hard to hold off a hard-charging Sam Lambert. And Nick Limington, at the moment, is really looking to get back up there into 3rd place. But Ted Collins has just brained them all. Fastest lap of the race, and he'll take victory by over 9 seconds.
Yeah, what an incredible victory by that man there, Ted Collins. Look at that. Incredible. New lap record and race win. Ted Collins. But what's happening behind him?
Well, as they come to the line, it's going to be very, very close to try and see. Marchiotto just gets it. Sam Lambert and Nick Limington. Muldoon really dropped off in that last half of lap.
Yeah, I think that for Muldoon there, the writing was on the wall. There was nothing more that he could do. So unfortunately for him, that was it.
But confirmation of your results, Ted Collins takes victory by 6.9 seconds. Obviously, he backed it off with a 27.9 on the last lap to take a win over Marchiotto. Sam Lambert up onto the podium from almost last on the first lap. Nick Limington, great ride from him. Sam Muldoon was unlucky to miss out there on the podium. Damon Rees, Tom Taparis, Cambridge Olivier, Mason Coote and Ryan Taylor round out the top 10. Well, let's hear from our top 3. They're down there with Emma.
Team just told me we did 2 22s in a row lap times, so that's crazy. You know, that's way faster than what we did in qualifying. So, but now then after I got a gap on Mark, I could see it on my quick forward, and I just tried to maintain that gap. And the Next Gen Motorsports team and traction control suspension have given me the awesome bike to ride, and I just having so much fun out there.
Ted's going, I think, a full 1.5 seconds faster than any of us. So, yeah, no, it's definitely a good track though, and yeah, it was a good race as well.
Made a too greedy move at the start there. I should have just sat in second off the start, but I felt like I could have gone for it and I just missed out, but I'm glad I was able to fight back up and get on the podium.
You just got to love when one passion runs through a family, and Max and Jamie Stouffer are the perfect example of that. Jamie is a two-time Superbike champion, and Maxwell is only 13 years of age, and now you're part of the Junior GP Cup. How's it all going?
It's going pretty good. Improving my lap times nearly every time, so I'm happy with myself.
It's going to be a great season for you. And Jamie, how did it all start for you?
Yeah, well, it started off with, I was racing dirt track in my early years, and we ended up going road racing and had a fairly successful career. And it's always been a family affair. We all travel together, and it's once I stopped racing at the end of last year, Max decided. Well, he didn't decide until earlier this year, but he wanted to have a go at road racing, and so here we are. We got a bike. YRD offered him a bike to ride, and we turned up. Got it a week before the first round, and turned up there and had a ride, and he seems to like it. So need to we're coming to the meetings now, and he's going quite good. He seems to like it and improving all the time. So hopefully he goes out there and has a bit of fun.
Max, following Dad's footsteps, I'm sure you want to be a champion one day?
Yeah, hopefully. I'd like to make it to that stage one day. So
good luck for the year.
Thank you.
The GP Juniors had to deal with the worst conditions of all at Wakefield Park last round. No such worry here at Winton Motor Raceway for round 3 of the championship, or round 2 of the GP Juniors. In fact, they didn't race at the first round at Phillip Island, but it was the poleman, Benny Baker, that blasted down into the spokes.com.au S's in the lead. But he had championship leader Tom Edwards on bike number 71 right behind him. Then it turned into a 4-way battle for the lead. Tom Edwards going up the inside at YMI corner, and joining onto the back of the lead group was also Jack Cousins on board bike number 34, the TM Performance Yamaha R15. Of course, all of these bikes are shod with the same Bridgestone tyres, and the bikes are all exactly the same specification, so it really comes down to rider talent. And as you can see there from John Littris, a good dose of slipstreaming as well. As the top 5 started to pull away from the rest of the field, it was the former dirt tracker John Littris that took the lead as he came out onto the YMF straight, but there was slipstreaming aplenty. Joel Kelso went up the inside. Tom Edwards said thanks very much as the door opened, and he came through to take up the lead, with Jack Cousins on 34 moving up into second place. Unfortunately, there was an incident between Jack Cousins and Joel Kelso, resulting in Jack Cousins putting his bike down, hitting the air fence, and the race was red flagged after 3 of the scheduled 5 laps, with top points going to John Littris, who led at the completion of lap number 3. Joel Kelso took second, and Tom Edwards took third. GP Juniors race number 3 got away with Ben Baker once again getting a great jump on the rest of the field from pole position down into the spokes.com.au corners, with Kelso slotting into second place, and John Littris on bike number 308 up there into third. Tom Edwards back in 4th place. Very unusual to see him that far back, but it didn't take long before the rider on bike number 71 really made his presence felt. He's the oldest, the tallest and most experienced rider in the field, and it wasn't long before he took the lead, but the rest of the riders went with him as well. Littris, who won race number 2, was right up there into the lead as they came through spokes again, but Kelso and Ben Baker made it a real 4-way battle for the lead, and this dice went on for the entire race distance. You can see there Joel Kelso, the young Northern Territorian, making a big move through Suzuki to go from 4th to 2nd place in one fell swoop. But there was overtaking aplenty every time they came onto the straight. It was slipstreaming duels all the way into the corners, with Littris having the lead into the corner. Edwards coming up the inside, couldn't find his way past there, but it wasn't long and he was back in the lead, with Littris trying to find his way past. Kelso right behind him, and Ben Baker on the back of the 4-bike group. As they came into the S's, unfortunately Littris went down. Kelso had to take evasive action, and Ben Baker made his way through into second position. At the flag, it was Tom Edwards that took the win by 0.016 of a second, with Baker in second and Kelso got third.
There was a whole heap of them who were fast up the front, and that definitely made it a better weekend.
I was just sitting behind waiting for someone to crash. And then he'd done it, and I was lucky enough to get through. Kelso had to run off. Yeah, it was a good race. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, it was a great race. Unfortunately, on the second last lap, I had to avoid a crash and put me back to 3rd position, but I'm really happy with the results this weekend, and can't wait for the next round.
Highlights now from race 3 of the Yamaha R3 Cup. Races 1 and 2 completely dominated by Jack Mahaffey, our pole man, on board the JDS Moto Yamaha R3 bike number 37. But he had to play second fiddle to Tom Edwards as they came down into the spokes S's for the start of race number 3. But it wasn't long before Mahaffey on bike number 37 was right onto the back of Edwards and trying to find a way past, with fast starting Hunter Ford on board bike number 20 also in the mix as well. There goes Mahaffey up the inside of Tom Edwards to take over the race lead. Corey Briffa was also starting to make his way through the field as well. And championship leader coming into this round, Jack Passfield on board bike number 42, was sitting back in 4th position. A great little battle ensued between Hunter Ford and also the fast man from the Yamaha R3 Cup and GP Juniors, Tom Edwards there. A little bit of a touch, but that's what we expect in Yamaha R3 Cup racing. And then a little bit of eternal optimism from Hunter Ford saying, follow me. I don't think there's going to be any of that in the Yamaha R3 Cup. Great battle here between Corey Briffa on board bike number 23 and the 24 machine of the young firebrand Ben Bramich as well, as they went to battle, as they do in the Yamaha R3 Cup. Doesn't matter if you're looking at 1st or 2nd, 3rd or 4th, or a little bit further back in the field, the battles are always on, and the battles went all the way to the flag. But no one could get anywhere near this man all weekend. Jack Mahaffey, a perfect weekend, came into the round 10th in the championship, has moved up considerably with the perfect round, 3 wins and pole position.
I went off a crash in the Supersport 300, try not to get my own confidence down. Yeah, it was a really good race, and try to keep my focus and get those laps down, hit those lines every time.
The chicane's a bit hard, and yeah, just couldn't quite catch Jack again, but it was a good race with Tom.
I felt like I had a good pace through it and couldn't tag onto the back of Jack, but ended up finishing 3rd, so that was good, and didn't throw it down the road, so it got me a few more points.
Don't go too far away. Coming up after the break, all of the action from race number 3 of the HI-TEC Batteries Supersport 300 class.
One of the greatest experiences that you can be a part of an ASBK round is to hitch a ride on the back of one of these bad boys. This here is the Yamaha R1 Tour bike, and you might even get to ride along with one of our very own champions, Steve Martin. Seriously unbelievable. For your chance, the ultimate experience to go on the back of one of these bad boys, all you need to do is enter at any ASBK round. Good luck.
Well, Supersport 300s are just about to get underway. Ollie Bale has qualified on pole position, but he's destroyed 2 bikes this weekend, so won't be taking part in the final race. Max Croker, Jack Mahaffey rounds out the front row of the grid. Ty Lintz, Tom Bramich and Scott Nicholson, who's taken victory in the under 300 in the last couple of races. Reid Batty, Corey Briffa, Ben Bramich and Yanni Shaw. 2 championships in within the one here. As you mentioned, Steve, under and over 300s. and 36 of them on the field. Max Croker has been very, very quick this weekend and took his first victory in the previous race.
Yeah, good result from Max. There he is on the number 41 RC390 right in front of us. The red light goes and they're off.
Well, Jack Mahaffey got a great start on board bike number 37, but it was the big 390cc single machine of Max Croker that propelled him down towards turn 1, and he'll tip through there in the lead. Let's hope this bumper field can all get through spokes.com.au corner unscathed. And I think they've done it, Steve.
Well, not yet. It's not over until it's over, but they're still coming through turn 1 and 2 as they enter turn 3.
Well, Mahaffey takes the lead from Croker, and I think that's Reed Batty that's actually up even into third position on board the 33 machine. The man that started from pole position at the first round at Phillip Island. Oh, look at Reed Batty's corner entry speed into the Suzuki corner. Just goes up the inside of the very racy looking KTM of Max Croker. And Tommy Bramich is right there too. We've seen his brother Ben racing in the R3 Cup earlier on today. Well, this is the older brother Tom now that's on board bike number 44 and up in that lead group.
Yeah, good to see him up there, Tommy Bramich. And I just saw the Deborah Motorsports machine in there as well. Good to see Demery up there. Struggling a little bit this weekend, but he always seems to come good in the races, this young Demery. So let's hope that he can make his way forward as well.
Well, Reed Batty up into second place. Tom Edwards has also got a pretty good start on board bike number 71. You'll see him coming up in many classes over the weekend. Races in 3 individual classes. There's Tom Edwards on board the 71 machine. So,
yeah, he's got a busy weekend as well, hasn't he?
Look how deep he is on the brakes, closing right into the back of Reed Batty. Those two went at it hammer and tongs at the first round at Phillip Island. Both of them were Kawasaki Ninja mounted down there. Since then, Tom Edwards has made the jump over to the Yamaha R3 and putting in a great ride here in only his second round on board that machine.
Yeah, Mahaffey though out front at the moment, 38.3 standing start. He's got a second lead over Max Croker in second position already, with Reed Batty just in third. Wide line there.
Oh, that was Corey Briffa. He was very close to the air fence.
Yeah, very close. You don't want to get much closer than that. Late on the brakes for the number 87.
Did you see Hunter Ford there as well? The front end pattering up and down as he tried to go up the inside. I think he's in that battle with Corey Briffa, and also Zach Levy's out there as well on board the 87 machine.
Yeah, well, they were battling it out earlier on in the day as well. One thing we do know, Hunter Ford is very fast.
Well, Scotty Nicholson's also going very good on the Next Gen Motorsports team. He is the third rider in that team. We've already seen Ted Collins and Troy Gunther on board those Next Gen Motorsports machines, put in some great rides this weekend. Look at Max Croker's style. How GP inspired is that? The rider with a fair bit of experience too. He's raced overseas.
Yeah, he's raced in the Moto 2 class at the CEV level. So he definitely, if anyone's going to have a Moto 3 style, it's him. And he also raced. I remember him quite a few years ago when he was probably half the height that he is now on a Moto 3 bike, racing around Broadford when he was quite young. So he's been doing this for a long time now, as Maxi Croker.
And he is actually extremely tall, isn't he? He'd have to be over 6 foot. Tommy Edwards up the inside.
Oh.
How much confidence did he have in the front end of his number 71 R3 there, as he just went sliding up the inside? And you've got to say that KTM looks probably the most racy out of all of the motorcycles out there.
Yeah, definitely a lot of different concepts out there. The 390cc single engine in the KTM. Everything else out there is like twin cylinder. Whoa, wide there for the number 44, Tommy Bramich, but managed to pull it all together. Reed Batty just behind him.
Well, Max Croker's back up into second position now. Here goes Edwards back down the inside. This is what we love about this class, the close, hard racing, no quarter asked nor given. And Edwards now back up into second place. But once again, it is Jack Mahaffey showing a clean pair of heels, a 133.160. I've lost count of the amount of lap records that Jack Mahaffey has set this weekend.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot. And he's going to, when he looks back and sees the group of guys fighting together in the background there, he's going to be pretty happy, because these guys are going to start slowing themselves down if they keep battling like this.
Well, he didn't have the pace over one lap, Mahaffey, because both Ollie Bayliss and Max Croker qualified faster than him. But what he has showed, he's able to reel off consistent laps, one after the other in the races, to take impressive victories in, I think, 5 of the 6 races so far this weekend. So he's been going very fast and consistently fast. Oh, who's that off the track?
148. That is Nathan Boland. Nathan Boland's had an off-track excursion there, unfortunately for him. But meanwhile, back out front, it is Tommy Edwards in second position. But Mahaffey now, what's that lead now? It's got to be over 3 seconds as he goes past. It's, yeah, definitely over 3 seconds. 3.2 seconds the lead. Oh, Croker's off!
Oh, and he's taken Tommy Edwards with him. He looks like his leg is actually caught up in the back of Tommy Edwards' machine. Hopefully he can extricate his leg. He has, and then Tommy Edwards says, right, I'm off. Croker's bike is actually, well, it's a fair way off the circuit. With his leg being caught in that machine, I wouldn't be surprised that the Race Safe need to get out there very, very quickly.
Well, Race Safe are already there, so let's find out. But meanwhile, Max has gone in too hot. He's got he got bumped by Tommy Edwards, and his foot's gone up in there, and it's caught. Oh, that doesn't look good. But you know what? It doesn't look that. I think he's got away with that. I think he's probably shocked. I think it looks like he might be lucky there. Let's wait and see. But the good news is that we've got people out there.
What about the skills from Tommy Edwards, though, to keep the bike upright? Because if that had have gone over, it could have been a whole lot worse.
You know what? Tommy Edwards, I take my hat off to him. Whatever happened there, Tommy Edwards had the sense to get off that bike instead of throwing it over out of disgust or something. He had a look to see what the issue was.
Getting ready for the start of this final 300 Supersport race. Oh, Tommy Edwards gets the front wheel up off the ground as he launches the Yamaha R3 off the line. Let's hope they can all get down through turn one safely. Edwards up the inside. Well, he hasn't backed it off after that first race incident, has he?
No, he certainly hasn't, but that's exactly what he needed to do. He needed to get in front of Jack Mahaffey. Oh, we got a couple wide there, but they've managed to hold it. They're all through. They're into turn 3. Into Motul corner now they go.
There's Keegan Pickering, one of our girl riders, out there doing a great job on board the 322 machine.
She improved her lap times a lot this weekend. She went 7 seconds a lap quicker in one session. That's not bad from young Keegan Pickering. Bit of sparks there for number 71, but Mahaffey looks up the inside. He can't do it.
Well, remember, Steve, this is a 3-lap race to the finish. Jack Mahaffey has led and shown everyone a clean pair of heels this weekend, but he's only got now 2.5 laps to try and get back into the lead. Oh, he goes up the inside. Just seemed to be able to turn that bike on a dime and went straight up the inside of Tom Edwards and leads them out of Shark Corner and down onto the YMI straight now. Does Mahaffey with Edwards right behind it. Reed Batty, he's up into 3rd place.
How did he hold that together? What a braking manoeuvre from Mahaffey. That was incredible. I thought he was off for sure, but no, I was wrong. But look at Edwards now. He got great drive out of there. He's going to dive up the inside, and Edwards' turn at the front.
Well, this is going to be a real dogfight to the finish. Mahaffey turns the bike tighter, tries to get up the inside, but the drive out of YMI Corner was too good there from Tom Edwards, and Reed Batty is just lost the place as they come up now to complete the first lap. I think that may have been Tom Bramich that just got past him on the 44 machine. In fact, Bramich has gone past. He's gone up into the lead. He's gone from 4th to 1st in one run down the Yamaha Motor Finance straight as Tom Bramich on 44. You picked it, Steve Martin, before the start of this race.
We've still got a couple of laps to go, and I think that things are going to change, and they have, because Tommy Edwards is back out in front at the moment.
Well, the Supersport 300 is living up to all the hype that we've expected of this class every year. Mahaffey's now back into 3rd. Reed Batty is going with them in 4th. And it's all the usual suspects back again at the front, around the outside. Oh, great stuff from Mahaffey.
He can't pull that off, surely. He has. Mahaffey goes through, back into 2nd spot. Reed Batty looks like he wants to go up the inside. Well, Scott Nicholson's there too. He wants to have a crack at the front.
Well, remember that Nicholson and Batty are battling it out for the under 300 win this weekend. They've taken 1 win apiece in the 2 races that have run previously to this, and Hunter Ford is getting in on the action as well. He's the real wild card, Hunter Ford. He doesn't mind getting the elbows out and having a good scrap either, and he is now in this group as well as Zach Levy, the reigning R3 Cup champion from last year.
I've got a bit of bad news for you, Phil. Nobody out there cares about 300 and over 300 at the moment. They just want to win.
That's it. They don't care who is in front of them and who is behind them. And at the moment, no one is in front of Tommy Edwards as he comes down into the final corners to come round and start this last lap. Well, we said a 3-lap sprint race to the finish was going to be exciting. Oh, was that Zach Levy? He had I think everything in the bike owns there, grinding on the road as they came out of the final corner. And well, it's just a mass pack as they come across the line.
Tommy Bramich is up there on the outside. Bramich is, whoa, just knocked wide, but he's in a good position. McAfee is wide again. Is there room left for him? Yes, there is. Good to see.
7 bikes covered by 0.9 of a second as they went across the start-finish line. 7 bikes covered by 0.8 of a second as they went through the first intermediate. It is getting closer on this last lap.
Mahaffey's in the perfect spot now, but Bramich breaks through to the front. No, he doesn't. Around the outside he goes again. He's going to try it again, and he's 3/4 of the way round. He surely can't go past Edwards too.
Well, is he going to go up the inside of Edwards? No, Edwards takes that high wide line that we saw Wayne Maxwell use to great effect. Edwards is grinding everything on the road. There's sparks coming out from the foot pegs and his boots as he comes around with Mahaffey. How did he get through? That is unbelievable from Jack Mahaffey on board bike number 37. Hopefully everyone did come over to asbk.com.au that was watching the live telecast on SBS, because this race is unbelievable. We've only got 3 corners to go now through HI-TEC Batteries for the final time. Jack Mahaffey leads only just over Tom Edwards and Tom Bramich. Look at Bramich.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Edwards is going to run. So is Bramich. This is going to be interesting. Oh!
Bramich up the inside.
Mahaffey
comes around and goes back into the lead. No, yes, he does.
Oh, inside run there from Bramich. He's got a good ride. Edwards has looked over his shoulder.
Is that going to cost him the race win as they come for the slipstream to the line? It is going to be so close.
Mahaffey.
Oh, that was...
Bramich wins it.
There was nothing in that as they came across the line. 0.016 of a second to Tom Bramich over Jack Mahaffey. He was on the inside of the circuit, and I thought that the moment Mahaffey came out of the final corner and looked over his shoulder, that might have cost him, and it did in the end. 0.016 of a second.
Nobody knows who won. Nobody knows. Look, no one's celebrating out there at the moment.
Well, here's the confirmation of the top 10. Tom Bramich takes the win by 0.016 of a second over Jack Mahaffey and Zach Levy. Reed Batty, Tom Edwards and Scott Nicholson, 4th, 5th and 6th position. Brandon Demery, Hunter Ford, Jack Passfield and Corey Briffer round out the top 10, with Ben Bramich taking out 11th position. Boyd Hocking in 12th. Yanni Shaw back in 13th. Let's go down to Emmett after an action-packed Supersport 300 race.
Pretty full on after the red flag, only having a 3-lap race. Everyone's pretty desperate to get to the front as quick as possible. I'm just super apt to come out with the round win after such a hard start to the season. Can't thank my team enough.
Well, we've got to get off to a break. We'll be back shortly at Winton for the 2 races to finish off today's action.
If you've been following Superbike racing since the late 80s, one guy and name you will have heard is Robbie Phillips. He's a 4-time World Superbike race winner. He's finished on the podium a couple of times in the World Championship, and he's won quite a few Australian Championships as well. Robbie Phillips, it's great to see you still here in the paddock after all of these years, but you've got to tell me, what was it like back in the start in the early days?
Mate, it was great fun. Like, that's why we went racing. It was fun. And then if you're good at it, people give you stuff. So that made it even better to go to the next race meeting, you know, like so you go out, you'd ride, you might have a win or whatever, break a lap record, and it was fun, you know, like, and that's what it was all about.
Now, you were called Mr. Superbike back in the day. You were the guy, the man. You were around when superbikes were first invented. I mean, how different were those bikes compared to the ones that we're riding now?
It's like chalk and cheese, I guess. You know, like we'd take a bike, a production bike, off the showroom floor and make the modifications to it. But these days, the factories actually make the modifications before you get the stuff. The bikes are so much better and faster, and it's just unbelievable. 43 years or something now I've been involved in racing, and like, I never wanted Alex to ride a motorcycle, and I wouldn't let him ride until he was 10 years old. And the day he turned 10, he said, well, I want my licence, Dad, and here we are now with the Superbike. You know, we're here and we're having a go. So far, so good.
Welcome back to Winton as we get ready for the second of our Supersport races for today. Ted Collins, race 1 victor. We'll start from pole position. Mark Kyoto and Sam Lambert on the front row of the grid. Hopefully Sam Lambert can keep it somewhere near the front of the grid as he goes through turn 1. Row 2, Chris Quinn, Mason Cooten, Sam Muldoon. Nick Limington, the man we just spoke about on bike number 27. We'll start from row 3 with Sam Condon and Tom DeParis. 3 young hard chargers back there on the 3rd row. Oh, green flag at the rear, red flag at the front. The red flag leaves the grid. The race safe car moves into position. Revs rise. We're away. Oh, great start from the Sam Lambert's machine there on the third position on the grid. He's going to tuck in behind Ted Collins as they come down through. Hopefully everyone manages to get through there safely. And spokes.com.au corner doesn't catch out anyone. And we've got 0 crashes there, Steve, which is good news as the field makes their way through. I noticed that Mason Coote's machine didn't have that sticker on the front tyre as he came through the Motul corner.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get through turn 3 in one piece, though, because that's also caused some problems over the weekend, and it looks like it's clean as well. But guess what? Ted Collins is out in front, and that is not what the rest of the field want to see after 3 corners, because they wanted him to be perhaps held back a little bit at the start.
Well, the big question is, can Sam Lambert and Mark Kyoto go with him? Have they been able to make some changes to their machines to extract a little more pace in between races 1 and 2? But Collins has already got his head down. Exactly what he said to Luke on the grid that he was going to do. Just try and put in a fast 3 laps at the start of the race, and then put it into cruise control for the rest of it. And as they come down to HI-TEC Batteries corner, he has got, what's that, about a 7 or 8 bike length lead over the battle between Sam Lambert and Mark Kyoto.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive lead already by Ted Collins. He is definitely in the zone this weekend. Sam Lambert is probably the only man that I can see out there that can do anything if he can, because he had to come through the field to get on the podium last time out. Now he's starting from the front, but look at that. I mean, that is incredible stuff.
Well, his time from a standing start, a 1:27. He is nearly 2 seconds faster than anybody else. He has a lead of 1.8 seconds after 1 lap of the Winton Motor Raceway circuit. That battle between Mason Coote and Sam Muldoon is starting to heat up as well. And right onto the back of them is Nick Leamington as well on board the 27 machine.
Yeah, Nick Leamington's left himself work to do again. He's behind those 2 guys. He finished 4th in race 1 today, did Nick Leamington. And so once again, he didn't probably get the start that he needed with work to do to catch up to Muldoon and Coote in front of him.
Well, and right behind Nick Leamington, he's got probably the most experienced campaigner, bike number 82 of Chris Quinn on the Holmes Extractive Resources Yamaha R6. Damon Rees, Sam Condon and Tom Taparis round out the top 10.
Yeah, it's good to see Quinny out there, isn't it? He is the most experienced. Up the inside, Muldoon.
Well, sharp corner.
I'll tell you what, if you watch the R6 of Mason Coote every now and then, something drags on the ground as well. I see the odd spark coming out of it. Obviously a foot peg or something just touching down. So maybe something a little bit different to the setup on that bike. It certainly looks like it's moving around. There's Leamington though, catches up, under brakes. It looks like he's going to try and dive up the inside, but not this time.
Yeah, good, well, a big group of bikes here, led by Sam Muldoon at the moment. It's all the way back to about Sam Condon, I think, is on the back of that group. No, Tom Taparis. So that is all the way from 4th back to 10th position in that group as they make their way down into TAC towards 0 corner. Mason Coote, extremely strong on the brakes on board bike number 53. Of course, led the championship after the first round at Phillip Island. Here comes Muldoon back up the inside. A couple of changes of position in 2 corners.
These guys are really going for it, aren't we? We saw Muldoon said that on the grid that he was going to give it everything that he's got, and he's certainly trying a bit harder than he was in race 1. Here's a replay of Mason Coote up the inside into the TAC towards 0 corner. Great manoeuvre there up the inside of Muldoon, but it didn't last long, did it? Because Muldoon decided that he was going to strike back quick, and he did that in turn 3.
The very next corner, and that battle is now resumed.
Wow, look at the gaggle of riders we've got here. There's Taparis in the background there, in the middle of that group.
Smooth, not the word I associate with this group at the moment. That's it's a real dogfight. They're all over the place, and it's well, it's elbows out and starting to get aggressive. And look who is moving his way through that group, that field. The man we just spoke about, Tom Taparis, on board bike number 7, the Cube Racing Kawasaki. He's only 16 years old, only having his 2nd year of road racing. In fact, it's only his 3rd meeting in the Supersport 600 class, Tom Taparis. And he's battling with Chris Quinn, who has been racing 600 Supersports probably longer than Tom Taparis has ever been racing.
Yeah, he probably has, but I tell you what, never underestimate Chris Quinn. He's a great rider. He's been around for a long time, and he's had some great results.
Taparis ran wide there and lost a couple of positions. Damon Rees snuck up the inside on board bike number 20. the Honda machine, and now Tom Taparis has got his old foe from last year, Sam Condon, right on his tail on board the Bike Beers Yamaha YZF R6.
I'm still waiting to see what Reese is going to do, because when he's that close, he always fires at one point, doesn't he? There he is. His dad's Tony Reese used to race, of course, and Damon Reese is also out there having to go on the 600 Honda as well.
And as we mentioned earlier on this morning, they did actually create history this year in winning the New Zealand Superbike and Supersport championships between the two of them.
Really?
Tony Reese, New Zealand Superbike champion over the Christmas break. That was only just decided in court a couple of weeks ago. But yes, they've done the double between the two of them, and great to see that Damon's come out here to race in Australia. This is his second round. He raced at Wakefield Park as well, and certainly was extremely quick down there. But you were just speaking about Chris Quinn and how experienced he is, and he's managed to find his way to the front of that group now, getting the better of Mason Coote, moving up into 5th position.
Yeah, good to see. Sam Muldoon's cleared out now. You can see the gap between those two riders, probably about a couple of seconds now. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye on the lap times. Let's see. Muldoon, as he crosses the line, has just done a 25.6. And any minute Chris Quinn's going to go over. He's also done a 25.6, passing some guys. But look at Rees. He is out of control. He's going for it.
Well, that's exactly what he saw of him at Wakefield Park as well. He certainly rides the bike extremely loose. And you can see the back end just, well, raising up as he came in over the bumps down into Motul Corner. Down now through Pirelli Corner. You can see the scrapes there where it's caught a couple of people out this weekend.
Now Chris Quinn, of course, from Lismore in New South Wales, and Cooper's was the colour of his bike a couple of years ago. He's still got Cooper's as a sponsor, but he's mixed it up a bit this year with a new sponsor. Well, not a new sponsor, an old sponsor, just changed the colour scheme.
Well, let's go down to Luke, who's in the pits, and an update.
Thanks very much, guys. I'm here with Nick right now. Nick, what seems to be the problem?
I just went into turn 1 on the last lap, and I was just no brakes at all, going at 200 k's an hour, no brakes. So it's quite a scary thing. I thought I might come in instead of staying out just in case. But yeah, unfortunate end to the weekend, but that's how it is.
So it doesn't look like you'll be able to get back out there?
No, I don't think so, unless we can find a solution to the problem now, but not at the moment.
Sorry to hear that, mate. Best of luck moving forward. Cheers, back to you guys.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Nick. He had such a strong race earlier on today in race 1. Look at that, he's really out of control.
Yep, great there for Sam Lambert. He's able to just surf on the edge of traction. Oh, back to this battle as well, which has been going on. Tom Taparis on bike number 7. He's trying to find his way past Mason Coote. And this is the battle for 5th all the way through to, I think it's the 8th or 9th position, because not too far behind Tom Taparis is Sam Condon. Let's go back down to the pits with Emma.
Someone that's been a part of this category before. I'm down here in pit lane with Josh Hook. And what do you think of the talent out there for this category at the moment?
600 Supersport, it's sort of a tough category, and the championship bringing everyone together this year, it's really strong, and the guys out there are doing some quite fast lap times, so it's good to see. I'm pretty sure they've gone under the lap record pace here this weekend, so you know, the track's been resurfaced, so it's a bit faster, but the guys are out there giving it a red hot go. So I think the top 5 guys are all going quite fast, so it can be anyone's race, and there's a lot of competition out there for them. So it's good to see some young guys coming through the 600 class, and you know, it's a stepping stone for Superbike. So it's good to see.
Speaking of young guys, you're very young yourself. You've already been overseas. You're back here this weekend on the Ducati for the first time.
Yep. Yeah, first time on the Ducati this weekend for me. It's a shame we didn't get a couple of test days in last week, but it is what it is, and we're making massive steps in the right direction every time we go out on the bike. So we had a few dramas in that first one, but we got a direction, and hopefully we can, our strong part of the race is the last 5 laps, so hopefully we can capitalise on that and bring it home as a good result.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks, Emma. Great to hear from Josh Hook as well. Of course, has done great things in 600 Supersport racing over the years, but we just saw Jake Pretty have a bit of an incident there with Giuseppe Scarcella, and unfortunately Giuseppe has gone from battling for 11th position back to 20th.
Yeah, Giuseppe said at the start of the weekend it wasn't looking good for him, broken thumb and a couple of crashes. Well, it's gone from bad to worse for him, but at least he's still out there and circulating, so he can at least get some miles under his belt. Poor old Giuseppe Scarcella.
Well, back to this battle now between Sam Lambert on 21 and Mark Chiodo on board bike number 12. They've been going at it for pretty much the entire race distance, because halfway through the first lap, Ted Collins has made his intentions quite clear, and he already had a 1.8 second lead after the first lap. That lead is now out to about 5.7 seconds. And Collins, the fastest lap of the race so far, half a second faster than anyone else. In fact, Sam Lambert is the only other rider to get into the 23s in this race. So Ted Collins in a class of his own at the moment, 24.8 on the last lap, only fractionally faster than Sam Lambert and Mark Chiodo. But when you've got a 5.9 second lead, Steve, there's no sense in doing anything stupid with 2 laps to go.
No, absolutely. I mean, he would love to get a perfect weekend here this time out. And look at Marcus now, Chiodo on the Triumph. He is really putting everything into this. It almost looks like he's got a little bit more corner speed than the number 21 man in front, Sam Lambert, and he's looking for a way through up the inside.
I thought he was through there, the camera angle. Oh! Marcus out of the seat.
No, he's doing it deliberately late because, like we've seen at this circuit, you've got to line your passes up 1 or 2 corners beforehand. You just can't sit behind someone and think, I'm going to overtake him, because it's so twisty through this part of the circuit. You actually have to like change your line and try and nip underneath them, and normally it ends up with a bit of argy-bargy. Oh, we've got a faller.
Sam Condon on bike number 64 is down. And just looking, that looks like it's at the entry into the YMF corner at the start of the S's there after Suzuki corner. Hopefully his bike is far enough off the circuit. Actually, it's all the way out to the tyre wall. Here's a replay of it now. Oh, I just lost the front. Oh, so lucky not to take out Mason Coote there, and Tom Taparis right behind. Had a perfect view of what happened.
Yeah, Taparis was lucky there that he wasn't just a foot further forward, otherwise he would have got taken out as well. But nevertheless, back to this one, and look who's through. He's through. The number 12, Marcus Chiodo on the Repsol 675 Triumph, gets back in front of Sam Lambert on the R6 Yamaha.
Well, wonder how much pace Chiodo's got in these last couple of laps on the Dunlop shod machine.
Yeah, I reckon he's going to be looking pretty good because he's already pulled a gap, and he was definitely looking for a way through. Sam Lambert's bike, under braking, was moving around a fair bit more in the back.
I was going to say, is that another rider off it? No, it's just the Sam Condon smoke haze from where he's gone off and disturbed all of the gravel trap there.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He can't pass there with the yellow flag out, and he didn't. But I think he's not concentrating on that. He just wants through. Don't leave any room, Marcus, because Sam is there to attack. And attack he will.
Well, in sharp corner, perfect place to attack. But 1.5 laps to go for this second and final Motul Supersport race for the day. Ted Collins, looking to make it a perfect weekend, is out in the lead by 5.6 seconds as he came through intermediate number 3. The rest of the field streaming through now with Mark Chiodo and Sam Lambert battling it out for those last 2 places on the podium. Sam Muldoon having a pretty lonely ride in 4th place. Then it's Chris Quinn, Damon Rees having a pretty close battle at the moment. Not too much separates those 2 riders as they decide 5th and 6th position. The rest of the top 10 is Mason Coote, Tom Taparis, Cambridge Oliver on bike number 81 is up into 9th, and Jake Prudy, who was battling with Giuseppe Scarcella earlier on, is now up into the top 10.
Well, it's not over for Marcus Chiodo yet, because another moment for Sam Lambert there. Once again pushing the edge of that grip.
Well, a couple of warnings coming up for Sam Lambert there. It is the last lap, and I think Mark Chiodo has got enough of a lead now that Sam Lambert won't be able to make up that difference as they come down into the start of this really twisty section at the end of the Suzuki sweeper.
Look at the different styles between those 2 guys. I mean, Marcus Chiodo just about gets that elbow scraping on the ground. But look at Ted Collins. He's backed it right off now. He's backed it off a lot, actually.
Actually, on his last lap, he did a 26.2, did Ted Collins. So the lead is starting to come down. It's down to 4.2 seconds as they came through the second intermediate. But he's got a pretty handy margin over this field. And I think Mark Chiodo has got a 2nd place winning margin over Sam Lambert at the moment, with a very strong first half of the last lap.
Yeah, but the only thing that he doesn't know is he doesn't know how close Sam Lambert is. So he will be riding 125% in these last 2 corners. So who knows what can happen? We'll find out very soon.
Well, Ted Collins takes the win. He's 2nd of the weekend. He's 2nd of his career. Mark Chiodo takes 2nd, and Sam Lambert takes 3rd place. Ted Collins, perfect weekend. Scored his first ever pole position, scored his first ever win, and he's backed it up with a double. What a way to end round 3 for the young rider in the Next Gen Motorsports team. The rest of the field streaming their way through now, getting the checkered flag from Graham Checkers Stewart Muldoon takes a fine 4th position behind Lambert. Damon Reese gets the better of Chris Quinn for 5th and 6th position. Then it's Mason Coote. Jake Prudy up to 8th place on board his Triumph bike number 95. So 2 triumphs inside the top 10. Tom Taparis on bike number 7 takes out 9th, and John Hunt on bike number 31. Another Suzuki takes out the 10th position.
Next Gen Motorsport and Traction Control Suspension team have worked so hard here, from testing, practice, qualifying, the races. We topped them all, and I just can't thank them enough. They've given me the best bike to ride, and I just love riding it. I think we should have extended our championship lead a fair bit today, so now I'm going to go home and train my butt off and get ready for Darwin.
I just tried to stay with Sam and ended up being able to pass him. It was a tough race as well.
Heard Mark behind me the whole entire race, but I was just trying to maintain good grip for the race and do my best. Got 3rd, so I'm happy with that.
Next Gen Motorsport's Ted Collins has now increased his championship lead to 26 points over Mason Coote, who sits in 2nd, Mark Chiodo in 3rd, Tom Taparis in 4th, and Queenslander Jordan Carlson rounds out the top 5. That wraps up the Supersport action here at Winton, but coming up after this short break, the final exciting encounter of the Yamaha Motor Insurance Superbike class.
It's great to see Matt Walters aboard his Kawasaki and a part of the 2017 Championship private tier team, family team as well. And Matt, tell us a bit about your journey so far.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good journey so far. This year hasn't been too good for us, but we're still learning as we go. We're haven't got the world's biggest budget to play with, but it's definitely helped us a lot with Swan Insurance and all our sponsors. So we've been doing it for a while now, and we're slowly coming to grips with it, but it's heading in the right direction.
It's obviously been a bit tough. You know, you are a private tier team going up against those factory teams.
Yeah, it's definitely like we're restricted with testing and all that, just with budget simply, but it's helped us a lot this year, and we've moved forward with it. But the 2 tracks we've been to so far has been a real struggle for our bike, but it's still trying to turn it around, and we'll just try the best we can so far.
Tell us a bit about the family involvement.
Well, Dad used to try and race a little bit of Spudo when he was younger, and started off on a PW50 in dirt track, went to a couple of Aussie titles in dirt track, and then eventually got into a little bit of supermoto, and then we ended up racing road bikes on little Honda CBR 150s. And then went to senior ranks on a ZX6 and pretty much stayed in the Australian Championship for a few years. Was lucky enough to win a few titles, and we're here today trying to do the same thing.
Well, they're on their final sighting and warm-up lap before we get underway for the 2nd and final of our Yamaha Motor Finance Superbike races for today at this 3rd round of the 2017 Championship. It's about halfway in the Championship, 7 rounds this year, Steve. So it's all important who's going to carry the momentum, not only into the next round in Darwin, but also through the second half of the season. And Wayne Maxwell has got the jump at the moment with pole position and a race win. Wayne Maxwell, Troy Herfoss and Josh Waters will start from that front row of the grid. Falzon, Halliday and Starring on the 2nd row. Phyllis, Hook and Bugden on the 3rd row of the grid. And watch for Josh Hook in the latter half of the race. He said that the Dunlop Shod Panigale is very strong in the last 5 laps. Then it's Callum Spriggs, Kyle Buckley, Corey Turner, who had that excellent top 10 finish, Michael Blair, and all the way back through this massive field. Matty Barton, that crash earlier on today, has got some different fairings on, but he is back out there, and Hamish McMurray rounds out the field. Let's go down to the grid and Emma Francesco.
Thanks very much, Phil. Now, crew, we chatted on the podium and you were not happy with 3rd position, so I know you'll be pushing very hard to get that 1st place.
Yeah, you know, I just got to ride, you know, smart. I can't go out and blow my tyre out the first part of the race. If you look at the results, the tyres are definitely playing a big role in this this weekend. So, you know, I can't go out too hot and burn my tyres. I've got to try to stay with these guys. We are running a bit of a different rear option, harder option. So hopefully we can run with the front guys like we did in the first one and bring it home strong.
A lot of people talking about the tyres and conserving tyres, but we are still seeing some very fast lap times.
No, we are. You know, the guys at Dunlop have been with me all weekend, and you know, we've gone, I don't know, through how many tyres that are homologated on the list, and you know, I think we've tried them all, but you know, we found one that works. It is a lot harder than what we usually run, but you know, with the track being resurfaced and all these patchy lines, I think these tyres are going to work for us.
Good luck, crew. Luke?
Number 77, the privateer, Adam Senior. Adam, what a great race for race 1, finished 15th. How do you rate it?
Yeah, look, I'm pretty happy. You know, it's a tough field, and yeah, like we didn't have probably the perfect race I could have had, but come away with 15th. I'm happy with it. It's good result.
So, do you shift your focus for race 2? What's the goal in this one?
Focus is always do the best I can. You know, just try and tag onto the group in front of us and get dragged along, and hope we can get another good result.
Well, we look forward to watching you weave your way through the grid, mate. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Walters, you didn't have the greatest luck in race number 1. How's the bike looking?
Oh, I haven't had the greatest luck all weekend, to be honest. But yeah, caught up in turn 1 incident, which wasn't the best of things. Bike's repaired, and we'll just see what the race brings. It's going to be tough. We haven't got any knowledge of what's going to happen in the race because we didn't finish the first one. So we'll just try from the start and see where we end up.
At least you got all your support with you this weekend, because you do bring your family out with you at every round. I love seeing that.
Yeah, it's very much a family-run team, and everyone was kind of a bit bummed at the first start of it, but it's going to be all right, and we'll just try our best, and we'll just see how far we can get up.
Good luck as we get ready for Superbikes. This is race number 2 here at Winton Raceway. It's over to the boys in the booth.
Yeah, thanks very much, Emma. Good to see a smile on Matt Walters' face after, I have to say, a very, very difficult weekend for the Kawasaki Connection team.
Red flag is out.
Has left the front of the grid. The red lights are on. Revs rise, we're away. Good start from Wayne Maxwell, Herfoss as well. Josh Waters hasn't got the best of starts. Crew Halliday and Daniel Falzon have got another cracking start, both of them, and they'll pile into turn 1. But it is Brian Starring from the second row of the grid up into second position as they go through the flip-flop for the first time. It's a Crank Protein Honda 1-2.
Yeah, what a great start for the Crank Protein Honda team. Starring got a ripper of a start there, just nipped underneath Wayne Maxwell into that turn 1 there, and got a brilliant start. He just needs to see if he can hang on now. I'm sure he's one of the guys that has made a lot of changes, because race 1 didn't go to plan for him. But I'll tell you what, having number 67 in second spot at the moment might do number 1 Troy Herfoss a lot of favours.
Yeah, well, he's probably holding up the charge of Wayne Maxwell. The other good news is, for all those riders that don't like, or their tyres don't like having that heat cycle, that we've got all the way through the first important part of this lap without any red flag causing stoppages as the field make their way out of Shark Corner now. And Troy Herfoss, he's got the ears pinned back, but how long will he pin those ears back for until he starts to try and conserve the tyre and start lapping at a very consistent pace?
Well, he needs to see if he can get a gap. If he can get a gap, he'll do that. I mean, he's already got, well, I was going to say a second, but it only looks like half a second now. So if he can get 1 or 2 seconds gap, then he'll try and maintain that gap. That's what he'll do. For 1 or 2 laps, I'm sure he's going to go for it and just see what happens. Because one thing that we know that Troy Herfoss can do, and that is a quick lap straight up.
Well, Herfoss leads as they come across the line to complete lap number 1 at 25.7 from a standing start. Brian Starring in second, then it's Maxwell Halliday. Halliday off to a much better start than what he was in race number 1, sitting in 4th position. Then it's Falzon. Josh Waters has gone back to 6th place.
Hook has just gone past Waters as well. Hook is on a roll at the moment. He is really on a mission.
Yeah, the battle of the Joshes, and he's now got his eyes set on Daniel Falzon on that Caterpillar. Yamaha right in front has Josh Hook. Impressive debut in his first weekend on board the Craig McMartin Prepared Races Edge Performance Panigale. Here comes Josh Waters back up the inside.
Yeah, Waters wasn't having any of that. He says, hey, you're on a Bridgestone shod Ducati. I'm on a Suzuki with Pirellis. Surely I should be in front. And he is at the moment, but I don't think Hookie's going to be very happy with that. Remember, those Bridgestones are the tyres that probably should come good towards the end of the race. So this is the best start that we've seen Hook have all day.
Well, right behind Josh Hook is Al Phillips on board the Apex Civil Construction Arnold's Fruit Market Yamaha R1 as well. And great to see Al Phillips back in the championship. Let's hope that he can do the remainder of the season with that Apex Civil Construction team. You'll have to have a word to his boss, see if he can get some time off work. Just so happens, his boss is also the team owner.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't want to crash that bike, would you? That'd really annoy your boss.
Now, you might get the DCM, the Don't Come Monday. It's still the 2 Crank Protein Hondas that lead as they come around now to complete lap 4.
Falzon is still trying there in Yamaha Motorcycle Insurance Corner, and I'll tell you what, Josh Waters is caught right up to the back of those 2 guys, and he's gone past Falzon.
The pace of that Suzuki as he came out onto the Yamaha Motor Finance straight and just simply blasted past the Caterpillar Yamaha. Well, the Caterpillar might have a fair bit of grunt, but Josh Waters, he's got a lot of top-end mumbo on board that Phil Tate prepared Suzuki. Well, no surprise there.
Well, the bike's new. Maybe they found 6th gear.
Well, it's interesting, all of the riders that started from the front row of the grid, Steve, have all won Australian Championships on board PTR Suzukis. Wayne Maxwell won, Troy Herfoss won, Josh Waters too.
Look at Maxwell up the inside, he's through.
That's a typical Wayne Maxwell manoeuvre, isn't it? You can see the confidence in the front end. He just pulled the bike onto the inside. Oh, Starring comes straight back at him in a scene reminiscent of race number 1 when it was Herfoss and Maxwell that battled through the same corners with the same sort of manoeuvres.
Yeah, well, Brian's used to close racing. Obviously, he's raced in MotoGP and many other classes in Europe for quite a while now. First year back. It's good to have all the internationals back. Josh Hook, another one. Josh Waters. Many guys that have competed overseas have finally come back into our championship. And boy, are they happy to be here.
And the good thing is that they're not overshadowing all of the other riders, so it gives you a fair indication of the quality of racing here in Australia. Look at this move from Maxwell and Starring. How close are they racing? It's deja vu for Wayne Maxwell, just that it's a different rider on board the Crank Protein Honda to what he was battling with in race number 1.
Absolutely. It's a good indication of the different strengths and weaknesses of the riders in bikes, because obviously that's a spot that Wayne is really, really good, and he's going to have another crack at that next time round.
Josh Waters has gone backwards now, and he's back just trying to hold off Josh Hook again. It's almost like it's been replayed back to a couple of laps ago.
Well, you know, these guys, they wind up, and the other thing we need to remember, and they've all said it, is that they're all trying to conserve the tyre. So at certain times of this race, they're thinking, conserve the tyre, conserve the tyre. So somebody goes past and they think, boom, here we go, next time round. Got it this time. But what he's got to do is he's got to block that inside line off, and, oh, he can't do it.
Are we watching the lap before again, Steve? Because it's pretty much the same, isn't it?
The only difference between that pass and what he did to Herfoss was he gave Herfoss a little bit of a touch, which put Herfoss off, and it just gave him enough to get through. So that might be the next lap round. Let's see.
Well, we know the Honda punches well out of corners, and Wayne Maxwell is very good on the brakes. What can happen down into the Yamaha Motor Insurance corner? It is still Starring, holding off the hard-charging Yamaha of Wayne Maxwell.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if Maxwell's good on the brakes, Starring's incredible, because he did outbrake him there fair and square. But look at the drive now that Maxwell's got onto the start-finish straight as he heads up, but not in a good position to do it there either. Brian's very good on the brakes.
And Troy Herfoss at the moment, well, he said he'd made a change for the tyre. He's still holding down the fastest lap of the race. In fact, he did that again on the last lap with a 1:20.927. Half race distance coming up very, very soon. And Herfoss is really pushing on. Top speed of 235 kilometres an hour. You can see that the Honda is a little bit down on top speed. Wayne Maxwell's top speed on that last lap, 5 kilometres an hour faster at 240. But the man on a mission, Josh Waters, 244 kilometres an hour, and Robbie Bugden, 245 kilometres an hour on board the Kawasaki.
Doesn't matter how fast your bike is, if the guy leading the race has just done the lap record, which he's done, 1:20.9, the first man ever to do a race lap around here in the 1:20s. Whatever they changed on Troy Herfoss's bike is working a treat. And Maxwell is through now. Maxwell is clearly through on Brian Starring. So that little buffer has gone. Now we're going to see what Maxwell can do. He's going to have to ride like the wind if he's going to catch Herfoss this time round.
Well, and hopefully his pit board lets him know that he doesn't have Brian Starring glued right to his ducktail. He's got a couple of bike lengths lead over the 3-time Australian champion Brian Starring on board bike number 67. Of course, he's won a 125, a 600 Supersport and an Australian Superbike Championship in the past before heading overseas, as you said, Steve. But let's have a replay now of this pass. Once again, Maxwell set it up and got it done in Suzuki corner. Yeah. You can see Starring pulled to the inside trying to replay it, but Maxwell, very wide line and sweeping entry into the corner.
That was a great move. Just took the inside tight line, quite risky, but Maxwell pulled it off beautifully. Wayne Maxwell's just done a 1:20.834, so he is on a charge.
Done 2 1:20.8s in a row now.
Oh yeah, and he's closed that gap down to 2.3 seconds. And now I reckon that Herfoss will be starting to get worried when he sees that he's doing 1:20s and someone's catching him.
Well, the gap at the front is starting to close down, and just having a look now as our race leaders make their way down towards the bottom of the circuit. Yes. This battle is also starting to intensify, as well as Robbie Bugden has managed to get past Josh Hook, and he's now moved up into 7th position. Got his eyes set on Josh Waters in front of him, and just ahead of Josh Waters is this battle here. And the longer that these two battle with each other, the closer that Josh Waters and hopefully Robbie Bugden might be able to close in on them as well. There's the message going out for Is that Crew Halliday's team?
Yeah, I think so. Crew's got a lot to worry about because Daniel Falzon's having a much better race this time round. He's hanging right in there. I think a lot of the Pirelli runners have changed the rubber that they've been using, and it seems to be working quite well compared to race 1 earlier today.
120.789 for Wayne Maxwell. He just keeps lowering this lap record. We saw the first ever 1 minute 20 lap, Steve, only a couple of laps ago, and every lap since then we've either seen a 1 minute 20 lap or a new lap record be set.
I'm not getting excited until we get into the 19s now. So, I mean, 120.7, another lap record. That's what, 3-4 times this race?
Yep, 2 for Wayne Maxwell, and he's done. I think he's done the last 4 laps all under the old lap record. So Maxwell is down to 1.1 seconds now. The gap to Troy Herfoss.
That gap is less.
Oh, it's 0.4 of a second at intermediate 3.
Oh, that is incredible.
All right, let's have a look, see where they are on track. Herfoss comes around down into the bottom end of the circuit, and Maxwell is closing right in behind. But this battle at the moment between the Panigale of Josh Hook and the Suzuki of Josh Waters is starting to heat up as well. You can see on the brakes there, Hookie was so deep into the corner.
Yeah, he's really, really good on the brakes, is Hookie, and you know, that's his international experience shining through.
And is that Crew Halliday and Daniel Falzon closing in very quickly on Brian Starring as well?
Yeah, the gap back to Starring.
So here is Maxwell now all over the back of Herfoss. In fact, he's up the inside. Maxwell has taken the race lead on the 11th lap of the 16-lap journey.
He didn't even know what was happening there. He had to look over to see if anybody else was coming. I mean, 120.6 for Maxwell. Okay, I'm excited.
That's, I think, the 5th lap record that we've seen broken in this race. And Maxwell is on fire at the moment. His pace is unbelievable, and he is showing no signs of having any tyre troubles in the latter half of this race.
Herfoss is now doing, everybody else in the race is doing 22s and 21s, and Maxwell 20.6.
Well, could this be his first pole position and round win since Sydney Motorsport Park last year, and his first round win since Western Australia last year as well? Maxwell is on a massive charge at the moment.
Here we go, up the
inside. The way he closed in this gap on Troy Herfoss was unbelievable. Look at the drive out of the corner.
You just don't pass there, not at Winton, but he did it. I mean, look at the way he's throwing that bike, and he's just really thrown it and turned it on a dime.
And the distance between Motul corner and Pirelli corner, Steve, is not that big. To get the amount of drive and that advantage that he did was unbelievable. But Herfoss hasn't given up.
No.
Look at that, the red mist visor well and truly engaged for Troy Herfoss at the moment, as he's got his sights set right on the back of Wayne Maxwell's machine. They've had some great battles here in the past, these two. In fact, they nearly came to fisticuffs 1 year after a battle here at Winton. And even though they're good friends, they did have some terse words with each other.
Well, they banked fairings once already today as well, didn't they, in race 1, just about this part of the circuit as well. But look at Maxwell, he is just on a mission at the moment. Herfoss, you know, like, he's going to be riding around there at the moment. This could be the last time that they ride this model bike. Big spin there on the rear. Look at the rear degradation on the back of Herfoss's tyre too.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see the right-hand side is really starting to wear away for Troy Herfoss. The gap, though, at the moment is about half a second as they came through that part of the circuit. This is a really good battle, too, with Brian Starrings going backwards as well. Halliday and Falzon have both got the better of them. So Halliday at the moment is holding down that final podium position. Just having a look, Robbie Bugden is up into 6th position, but he's got about 2.3 seconds to try and get up into this battle for the podium.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy for Robbie to have a fairy tale podium this time round. He's really going to have to pull something out of the bag, and that time through, Robbie did a 21.6. You know what? Starring's doing 23, so he could make another spot or two.
21s for Wayne Maxwell, Troy Herfoss and Crew Halliday. Our top 3 are all still circulating around in the 21s. Maxwell at 21.1, Herfoss at 21.7, Halliday at 21.5. So Halliday, I don't think he can pull back any more distance. He's got to try and hold off the charge from behind, though, with Falzon, who was only just into the 22s.
You can look at Falzon now as well. You could just see through the fast left-hand Suzuki corner there. His bike was moving around a lot as well, so he's obviously suffering some sort of degradation. Bugden now right on the back of Starring, and good corner speed there from him too on the Kawasaki, on the BC Performance Kawasaki, looking for a way through.
Oh, Bugden, how far did he have the bike led over then? You can see sparks coming from the undercarriage of Bugden's number 24 machine. He's deep on the brakes. Great drive out of the sharp corner and down into HI-TEC Batteries, gets the job done.
But look at the Honda man. He's got good drive out of that corner and into Yamaha Motorcycle Insurance. He says, well, you know what? My front tyre still works good, so I'm going through. But he's run wide and Bugden's come back underneath him. And that just might be it for Starring. I reckon that Bugden now might make a bit of a break.
That is the classic Winton manoeuvre though, isn't it? Deeper on the brakes and then come back on the inside through YMI corner and Yamaha corner. So Bugden now up into 5th position on board that BC Performance Kawasaki. It is still Wayne Maxwell that leads from Troy Herfoss and Crew Halliday. Falzon still holding down 4th position. I think that's a pretty safe 4th position now, as they'll be on the 15th of 16 laps.
Yeah,
and coming into some lap traffic now, just getting up the inside of Matty Barton.
Yeah, a bit of a moment there between those two guys. Matty Barton making sure that he gets out of the way. So Herfoss gets through. Herfoss is through. Herfoss is pretty safe. He's got a safe second. He's pretty much... I don't think he's got much of a chance to catch Maxwell now. So he just needs to probably just calm down. We've seen him before make a mistake at Wakefield Park when he was leading the race and he lost a win because he had a contact with the back marker. So let's hope that he doesn't do that again. Rear wheel still in the air from Wayne Maxwell. Has somebody told him he's leading this race yet?
And he's got a 1.8 second lead over Troy Herfoss. In fact, as they come round, they will get the last lap board at the completion of this lap. There it is, last lap board head out by Graham Checker-Stewart. Wayne Maxwell has got 1 lap of Winton to go to make it the perfect weekend on board the Yamaha racing team, Yamaha YZF R1, bike number 47. He's had a slow start to the season by his standards, Steve, but tell you what, he's bounced back at round 3 with a perfect weekend so far.
Incredible. Pole position, race win, lap record, and perhaps a double race win, which will give him the overall win too. So Wayne Maxwell, incredible. I don't know what he had planned tomorrow, whether he had to go to work or not, but if he does, I think he should have the day off.
Well, a 1:20.688 new lap record for the Yamaha racing team rider. The previous lap record coming into this round was a 1:21.8. So he's taken 1.2 seconds off the lap record. Oh, Bugden out of the seat. You can see how keen he is to try and haul back that distance to Falzon in front. But, I think it's too much to ask with only half a lap to go for Robbie Bugden, but he wasn't going to give up trying, the Queenslander.
No, I reckon that's pretty safe now for Daniel Falzon. There's not much in it now. Crew Halliday's just ahead there though, so you know, I don't know how much Crew's got left in him. It's not over yet.
Well, final 2 corners for Wayne Maxwell. Drives out of Yamaha corner on his Yamaha to take the win. Perfect weekend for Wayne Maxwell. Checkered flag greets the rider on board bike number 47. His first round win of 2017. Second place will be Troy Herfoss. Good points for the championship, and Crew Halliday will take 3rd place with Daniel Falzon. Another solid 4th place finish for him. And tell you what, that's going to keep him very, very close to that championship lead. The Yamaha Privateer. Another good battle happening here. Look, Corey Turner on 52 just getting the better of Cole Buckley, and another strong result for Corey Turner. He'll finish in 9th position. He will better his performance in the previous race. Actually, no, I think Cole Buckley, got him on the run to the flag. And Wayne Maxwell and Crew Halliday celebrate a double Yamaha podium.
Yeah, what a great result for Team Yamaha here this weekend, and also the Privateer Yamaha team of Crew Halliday.
But Maxwell, a 5.2 second victory over Herfoss. Crew Halliday, another podium for him in 3rd position. Falzon, Bugden and Hook in 4th, 5th and 6th. Brian Starring in 7th. Josh Waters in 8th, Kyle Buckley in 9th, and Corey Turner in 10th. And that was a great race between those two at the end. But let's go down to Em. She's with our top 3.
For the first few laps, nothing was happening, and then as the gap gets smaller, it seems like you're catching them more, so it gives you more enthusiasm. And luckily, I got to him, and yeah, I was managed to pass him straight away. I was lucky enough, and yeah, I don't know what to say. My guys at Yamaha, we've probably been written off a lot, I guess, after the end of last year. And Warren, Jamie, Kev, all the guys at Yamaha, Ray, John, Jeff. There's a whole many people there that makes up Yamaha. And it, yeah, they didn't stop believing in me, and this one's for them.
I took a gamble at the start and was like, okay, I'm going to see if I can hang on with a gap. And then when he caught me, I realised I wouldn't have much fight. And by the time he caught me, it was just when I was starting to really struggle. But really big thank you to the Cranked Protein Honda team. they've done a great job, and we come in with a plan to the test in the start of the weekend, and we realised halfway through the weekend maybe that wasn't going to work out. We need a bit more sun.
The tyre was a little too hard at the start of the race, but I knew I was looking over the track and seeing Wayne and Troy, and they were at the same distance at the end of the race, but they were just too fast at the start of the race, and hats off to them. I had a terrible last round, and it's good to get on the podium overall as well. I can't thank the team enough, Dunlop, all the guys, so thank you.
Daniel Falzon on the Caterpillar Yamaha still leads the championship by 9 points over Maxwell and Herfoss, that are now tied for second position on 130. Robbie Bugden's holding down fourth position, Brian Starring in fifth, and Josh Waters on the Suzuki X-Star machine rounds out the top 6.
That wraps up another sensational weekend of racing right here for round 3 at Winton, and we want to see you again that next round, Hidden Valley Raceway in Darwin, the 7th to the 9th of July. Make sure you put those dates in your diary. A big thank you to everyone for watching, to our team, our sponsors, Phil Harlem and Steve Martin in commentary, and also Luke Heismans, who joined us here this weekend. I'm Eminata Francesco. Make sure you stay up to date with everything ASBK at asbk.com.au. See you next time.